Hello, my biddies. How are you? Hold on, I gotta write a little note here. Yes, ah. Oh, sorry, I haven't been on all week. As you might be able to tell, I am coughing up a lung again. I definitely have bronchitis this time, but I haven't had a eye-watering coughing fit since yesterday. So I think we might be okay for today. I will be coughing. If that bothers you, bye. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. My daughter's still texting me, even though she should be on here instead of texting me. So can you hear that? Yeah, it's real fun. Um, that started on Monday. I could take three breaths and cough. Like breath, 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 cough, 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 breath, 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 cough, 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 all night. Um, so, uh, so yeah, it's been fun. Hold on, I gotta get some Kleenex here. Still watched the kids on Monday because my husband was home, so he could wrangle them. Had company on Sunday. Okay, maybe that'll help. I don't know. Oh shoot. One more thing. I gotta go get my drink. I'll be back. Sorry about that. I'm not clearly well organized today. Clearly this is not, brain fog at all. None. No brain fog. I don't know if the coughing's gonna make or the talking is gonna make the coughing worse or what. I haven't experimented much with talking, but I can talk. Um, I was supposed to go see my daughter yet tomorrow. I had to cancel that because the person I'm going with were carpooling, and she does not need to be in the car with me hacking up along. Plus, we would have had to delay the start time because my grandson is actually going to be in a wrestling tournament. Yeah, I don't know either what 4-year-old needs to be in a wrestling tournament, but he wants a medal, so he's going to wrestle. And apparently, he's better than the other kids on the team. He's the youngest one, but he also has some attention span, apparently, that other kids do not. So he's cute. He'll be cute. I can't wait to see it. I haven't seen him in his wrestling gear or anything yet, but he's been taking lessons for a while. Um, really late at night for little kids. They don't stop until 8. Luckily, he's not in school yet because he'd be exhausted in the morning. They start early. Alrighty, so we're finally in second place in the medal count at the Olympics. Woo! Yay us. We have 9 gold medals, 12 silver, and 6 bronze. Um, felt really sorry for Ilya Malinin. He really got in his own head, I think. It happens. He's young. He's only 21, and that's the first time he's had real pressure like that, I think. Um, So he'll be back. He's fine. He's fine. He just messed up one day. It happens, especially at the Olympics. Happens to the best of them. It's okay. Everybody has a bad day. Kind of come back. And he was very gracious about it, which was lovely to see. And that speaks a lot to his character. Yeah, he may have named himself the Quad God, but which sounds, really what do you call it? Egotistical. But he is very gracious, and that's how you should be. And he did good. He did fine. Um, Amber Glenn, same thing on her short program. Oh, girl, come on. But man, did she redeem herself in the long? Came from 12th to 4th, I think. That's crazy. Nobody does that. If one of the Japanese skaters had had that problem, um, we would have had 2 medals because she would have pulled herself up to 3rd, and it's okay. The I was afraid that the little Japanese skater that got bronze would have been upset about her position, but her and Alyssa, by the way, congratulations, Alyssa. Good job. Holy cow. That's how you skate, man. She did fantabulous. But I was afraid the little girl that won bronze would be upset, but she was just so happy. They were just jumping up and down with each other and hugging each other. It was so sweet. So, so sweet. And even the silver medalist, which she's won everything lately, she seemed happy too. So that's good. Maybe we're getting out of this. I lost the gold and I didn't win silver, type of thing. Because I've seen some things. I've been watching skate a long time. I'm 61. I'm in skate, watching skating since basically I was born. My dad was a big skating fan and he could skate. So we watched every year and in between. And still watch every year and in between. Plus, maybe we'll get 2 medals at Worlds. Worlds next month. Coming up. All right. We also won a bronze medal in luge, I think, which is good. And we won I want to say a gold medal in bobsled, women's bobsledding. Maybe I should get some candy. I don't know. I bought some M&Ms for the boys because BW keeps asking for M&Ms. No, he keeps asking for chocolate, so I bought M&Ms. I had some chocolate for Christmas. Maybe this will be good for me, though. I don't know. Sorry about that. I know it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant for me either. You don't have to watch. I promise. Ugh. So anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, chocolate. So I bought some M&Ms. Maybe I should go get some of those. Haven't even opened the box yet. $14 with the M&Ms. It was like half the stuff I bought. Half the cost, anyway. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, so we got 2 speed skating golds, an alpine skiing gold, 2 figure skating golds, and that one gold is a team. 1 freestyle skiing gold. So we're doing good. It's fine. We don't have to win everything. We're not that exceptional. All right. So let's get into the reads. This is from What Should I Do? And it is entitled, I finally found out why this door is open. And there's a door. I don't know where it's a door. It's an exit door, apparently. That's nice. Does it go up the stairs? I don't know. It's not very plain. My family of five, myself, 24 male, wife, two kids under three, and a dog have been renting now for a few months. Our unit is on the third floor, and there's only two tenants per building. There are two garages attached that have service doors to the main hall that leads to the stairs up to the two living spaces. There's also a side service door that is used by either tenant. This door has an automatic locking mechanism, whether it's shut or not, after 30 seconds. For the life of us, we couldn't figure out why it was always propped open by a deadbolt half the time. Well, it turns out I'm just naive to the extent of people's laziness, because we clearly found out why. I was up in the living room playing chess while everyone was sleeping when I heard four loud bangs coming from down somewhere. Hard bangs, like very intentionally using their strength. Surprisingly, footsteps followed up our stairs. I was thinking, no way our neighbors, which have been respectful of each other, limited contact mostly, would deliberately beat the crap out of our service door. Then one of them proceeded to say loud enough that, like, they intentionally hurt us. I'm not sure why they're so effing afraid of people stealing here. Excuse me, but what the wang? Stop it off. I'd been watching at this point from my door's peek hole and watched him slam the door as hard as he could yet again. It woke up my entire family. My daughter was scared crapless on her third birthday at that. Any advice on this? I'm a very defensive person and now I feel triggered. ReadMr.com says if it's your neighbor, you literally talk to them or your landlord. Not really sure how to say, but if it's the landlord, just briefly explain it like you did. Um, doors are secured for a reason. They need to be secured. So what if somebody's afraid of thieves? Thieves are not a thing that you should not be afraid of. They come in uninvited and they take your stuff. Just because this guy's not afraid, doesn't have anything, doesn't mean you don't. Second one says notify the landlord. So he says his family regularly shuts it and self locks. Also in the minus 17-degree wind chill. Yeah, yeah, keeping it open also lets the weather in. These guys are idiots. That sounds like an idiot. I wonder if there's a update. That's his only post. Oh, there is. I ended up confronting the person yesterday, and there's no consolidating with him. He claimed the door is an inconvenience for him, and he wants me on board with propping the door open. Bull crap. I made it pretty clear he's not the judge of my family's safety. Additionally, he's not to disturb our peace again with his temper. Management put a note in this file. So, yeah, that guy will not be back. You know that little dog on the cartoons that has that little snicker he does? I swear I sound like that when I laugh right now, whether I want to or not. I mean, I do sometimes anyway, just when I run out of breath. When I laugh so hard I can't breathe, I sound like that, but now I sound like that even though I can breathe, kind of. I can kind of breathe. Next, we have malicious compliance, and it is entitled Angry Boss Refuses Expense Claim and Tells Me to Read the Policy for Guidance. England, 2015. We're setting a scene here. I was sent on a week-long mandatory training course through work. I already knew the subject backwards, but my boss wanted me to get the certificate to prove to upper management that his team was 100% certified. That's fair. I mean, It's just a piece of paper, but it does prove that you know your crap. I was told that a train ticket would be booked, as would a hotel. Bread and bed and breakfast only. I'd have to pay for lunch and evening meals, but I would be able to claim up to $5 a day for lunch and 11.72. These are in pounds per day for evening meals. It was a really strange value, but I could easily eat within that limit. A, this was 2015, and B, that's like more than an American dollar. On the last night at the hotel, my food bill was 11.75. 3 pence more than allowed. 3 cents. 3 cents more. However, seeing as the other nights I barely spent $10, I chanced that I could talk to the finance people to approving it, as the total spend would be less than allowed for the week. The Monday I returned, I completed the expense from the receipts and handed it to my boss for approval. An hour later, I was summoned to his office. He flatly refused to sign off on the expense as I had overspent. That's not overspending. That's not overspending, please. I tried to explain that it was by 3 pence and that the Monday night I had actually underspent by 250. I was lectured as the reason limits are there to read the policy. He sent me back to my desk and told me to resubmit. Cue malicious compliance. As I read the policy regarding expenses, then I read the staff handbook, then I read my contract. As it turned out, I could claim the following: reasonable cost for following my family in the evening, no receipt required. $5 per night for being away from my family, no receipt needed. 130 pound for being more than 3 hours travel, offered as an incentive. Regardless of spend time on course, it was equivalent to 40 hours. My standard was 37. Travel to and from the venue was classed as being in work. That was overtime as it was out of hours and double for the Sunday. Friday, I was home late. It was considered an overnight stay. I resubmitted making the adjustments and highlighting the sections of the policy where I had expected around $75 in expenses with the extras in the policies. I claimed more than $100. Then filled the timesheet for the travel overtime, which granted me another 150 or so. Boss called me back into the office and tried to tell me I wouldn't sign off on it, but I referred him to the policies and simply told him that if he refused, I'd go above him and maybe submit a formal complaint about him. I did take great satisfaction in reminding him that if he hadn't told me to read the policies, then I would never found all about all the extra expenses. Yes, I did inform every one of my work friends. Yes, I did get all the claim funds on my next paycheck. That's how you do it. You want to do it to the letter and worry about 3 cents? Okay, I'll cost you $100 instead, if that's how you want to do it. Classic top comment is from Seabelt, and it says, "Classic Pennywise, pound foolish. Well done. All for a threepence." Somebody answered, "Never mind the cost of two people discussing this, even for a few minutes." Yeah, that's costing money too. That costs the business money. These people are crazy. My general guideline is for people to cost, including management, facilities, etc., around $100 an hour, or about 1.5 a minute. For me, at least, that gives a good estimate if something is worth even considering making a fuss about, or if any choice is better than having a meeting. Yeah, because you don't want to waste your time in a meeting. A lot of them are time wasters anyway. This is the Vank Yunchen Shenzhen. I believe that's in China, if I remember correctly. This is evil buildings. I mean, that doesn't look that evil to me. I think you can make any building look a little evil if you do it at the right angle. I don't think that's too evil. But that's just me. Steph Mendes calls it a gorgeous building. It is. Located, yeah, it is China. The building was completed in 2019. The picture was taken in 2021. All right. Next we have AITAH, and it's entitled AITAH for causing my husband silly for freaking out that our Teenage son has a girlfriend who's in a wheelchair. Why would you freak out about that? That's weird. My husband, James, 37 male, and I, 39 female, have a son, Lucas, 13 male, who is a freshman in high school. After the Christmas break, a new girl, Yuki, 14 female, was in his class. I've heard Lucas and his friends talk about how Yuki is the prettiest girl in school. By their talk, I didn't know she was in a wheelchair, just that she's from another country and is super cool and so super pretty. After Lucas mentioned he started dating Yuki, I found out she was in a wheelchair when I picked my son up from school. Lucas told his dad and showed him what Yuki looked like by showing him her Facebook. My husband seemed okay with it, but later, with just me, my husband expressed concern in our son dating a girl in a wheelchair, talking about how our son doesn't know what he's getting himself into, blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, they're a freshman in high school. The chances of them lasting a lifetime is 1 in 100 or less. I called my husband silly and he got mad at me. Am I the a-hole? No, absolutely not. The top comment is from Unlikely Branches, and it says, my daughter has a significant disability and striking facial differences. When parents tell me they had no idea because their kid only talked about how cool and nice she was, it's pretty heartwarming and a strong indicator. The friends are good, kind, good people. Your son is one of those kind, good people. Be proud. Challenge your husband's perspective on this. And hope he thanked them. Shy Fidelity says NTA unless he can articulate why he's concerned beyond general anxiety about disability. Yeah, that's silly. Alien Overlord, they said, the LP says the concern he expresses mostly about her disability. Why? Alien Overlord said your son looks straight through the disability and only sees her. Your husband could learn something from that. Yes. People with disabilities deserve love too. So many, the third, I think is the third top comment says, it is remarkable that your teenage son is more mature than your adult husband. He's clearly being an ableist bigot and thinks that a disabled girl who is apparently very intelligent, beautiful, isn't good enough for his son. But if I were in your shoes, I would encourage this relationship. It's a teen romance. Isn't likely to go anywhere. But it clearly shows you are raising an open-minded, empathetic young man. Your husband needs to grow up and learn from his son, NTA, just in case it's not obvious. Totally NTA. Your husband is TA. Yeah, you have a wonderful son. Good for you, LP. You have raised a intelligent, very sensitive and caring and giving and loving young man. Be proud. Be proud of that. Next we have Neighbors from Hell. It is entitled, Neighbor parks his truck blocking my mailbox every day and gets mad when I complain. Isn't it like illegal to do that? I think it's probably illegal to do that. My mailbox is at the curb in front of my house. The mail carrier needs clear access to it or they skip delivery. This is pretty standard stuff. My new neighbor, who moved in 2 months ago, has a huge pickup that he parks directly in front of my mailbox every single day. The first week I was getting mail, so I checked the post office. I wasn't getting mail. That's real fun. Sorry, I'm suggesting this to you. Maybe we'll all live. I don't know. The first week I wasn't getting any mail, so I checked with the post office and they said they couldn't access my mailbox due to a vehicle blocking it. I left a polite note on the guy's truck explaining the situation and asked him to park a few feet forward or back. He ignored it. I knocked on his door and explained in person. He said I can park on the street wherever I want and shut the door. I don't think that's true. I contacted the post office and they put a notice on his truck about blocking mailboxes being a federal offense. That's what I thought. And he ripped it up and kept parking there. Now I'm not getting any mail at all. I called the police non-emergency line and they said it's a postal issue, not a police issue. The post office says they can't force him to move his truck. I'm stuck in the middle getting no mail. Okay, don't talk to the police. Don't talk to the post office. Talk to the postmaster at the post office. They're the ones that are in charge, and they like being mean. They like being nice too, but they will also be mean if they see something wrong. I have bills and important documents that aren't being delivered. I asked the neighbor again yesterday, and he told me to get over it. He's not moving his truck for me. What are my options here? Have it towed. Committing a federal offense, sir. I don't know what you should do in that case. Let's find out. Yeah, it says to contact the postmaster. To contact the postmaster, they'll be able to do something about it. Contact the slow gadget says contact the city to see if they will paint the curb red near the airbox. Many jurisdictions have a form to request this. Also, post to the postmaster, not just the guys standing around in the post office. You want to talk to their boss. Skytree says go to the post office and make an appointment to meet with the postmaster. They have their own investigators. Ask the postmaster to put you in contact with them directly. Be assertive and persistent. Take photos of his truck each day. Document everything and how often you have actually received your mail. Agree to press charges. Big White Dog says U.S. Postal Service inspectors don't wang around. They might just love to take this one on. They need something to do. I'm sure that they don't have enough. Someone said they had a package delivered to the wrong address, and they got a text, which you can sign up for in the U.S. Um, they clicked the help in the notification, and 5 minutes later, the postmaster called them and checked the GPS tracking, and it was at my neighbor's. And he sent the mailman back to give it to me. He was not messing around. Yeah, they don't take crap. They're in that position because they didn't take crap. Next, we have Found Satan. And this is entitled, What Can I Say Besides I'm a Huge Fan? It says, I've recently took up a new hobby. I've started going to IKEA stores and leaving notes like this. The toilet in this display room is 100% functional. Go ahead and try it out if you see the right one for you, toilet paper not included. That is not cool. That is not cool at all. No, don't do that. That just makes a mess for somebody else to clean up. Men just want the world to burn Master Bruce. Turtle Taint says, I used to joke about buying copies of Mein Kampf to leave in the bookshelves in the IKEA bedroom displays and see if it was ever mentioned on social media, but this is just evil. It is. Don't do that. Somebody has to clean that crap up. No, no, no. And somebody like me might have to clean it up, and we do not do well with that. I do not do well with, oh, nasty. This is Just No Mill, and it is entitled Mill Obsessive About Being in the Living Room. Why do mother-in-laws want to be in the delivery room so bad? I mean, if my daughters-in-law asked me to, I certainly would, but I am not asking them at all. At all. I don't need to. If my daughter doesn't want me there, I'm not going to be there either. If she does, she does. If she doesn't, she doesn't. If that even ever happens, who knows? I do have a daughter-in-law. She has had kids. I was not there. One, because of COVID. I'll wait in the waiting room to see baby if I'm allowed. Otherwise, I'll just show up afterwards like I usually do. My husband has just told his mom multiple times that she cannot be in the delivery room or even in the hospital. That's fine. That's fine. She doesn't want her in the hospital. It's perfectly okay. When I'm in labor, talk too long. But she will not stop asking and bringing it up. Her main reasoning is what is annoying me the most. She keeps saying she needs to be there for her son while I'm in labor. Oh, please. My husband explained that he will be there for me. I'm the one giving birth and going through a medical event, and he does not need or want somebody there for him. She even once told him that if you need me there to hold your hand, barf. What if you need me there to hold your hand? No. He does not need you there to hold his hand, I promise. He'll be fine. Oh, I can't even imagine like saying that about my kid. Either of my sons. Like, they are not that needy. If you've raised your kid to be this needy, you have issues, man. She keeps trying to justify it by mentioning other women in her life, like her brother and other family members who needed someone there for them, but not mommy, while their wives were in labor. I'm truly perplexed and baffled. I've never heard in my life heard of a man needing someone there for him while his wife or girlfriend was in labor. Plus, no offense, if my husband was the type of man who needed his mom during labor, I would not be married to him. Girl, you go, girl. My husband has dealt with it. He would just not be telling her when I'm in labor and would be letting the hospital know not to let her in if she shows up. I just want to share because I find this so ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Ruby Massa says, do we share the same mother-in-law? Chemical Fitness says, it's great that you're two on the same page. I wouldn't say my husband needed someone to be there for him, but one of my best friends was there to support both of us. Mostly me, but definitely also him. And it helps him stay more present and calm for sure. To be clear, I'm not advocating for mother-in-law to be in the room at all. She sounds crazy and selfish and just sharing that we're both glad my best friend was there for us. Yeah, I had well, my first one, it was just us two, and it ended up being a C-section because he was birch breech. I can't even talk anymore. My lips don't work because my lungs don't work. So weird. Anyway, for my second one, I had a VBAC, and my sister was there. And my third one, I had another VBAC, and my best friend was there for us. Although she left. She'd been up for 24 hours. It was fine. 24 hours. Yeah, that was my short labor. And kids wouldn't come out. They're still giving me problems. Oh, next we have petty revenge. Mother-in-law tried to force me to attend their church service. I responded with logic instead. Oh, this should be interesting. My wife and I are of different faiths, think evangelical and Catholic, but neither of us was really devout about it at all. Mother-in-law was a different animal, total zealot in literally the meaning of the word. Mother-in-law was a self-appointed monarch of the family and over-the-top religious zealot in a hardcore evangelical Protestant faith. Oh, I feel sorry for your wife. I went once when my then fiance and they had folks in the congregation stand up and confess their sins to the whole congregation. Yeah, that's kind of how it's done sometimes. And one guy's sins was that his wife liked sex, and the elders told him she was wanton, so he decided to divorce her over that. Wait, what? I thought divorce wasn't allowed. These Christians just pick and choose whatever they want. Whatever they want. This is why they can't agree on anything. And they want a Christian nation so they can just tear it apart more. It's crazy. It's insane. Keep your religion out of the politics, please. Not even please, just do it. Oh, and you're supposed to like sex. Just saying. Just saying. You're supposed to like it. It's supposed to be pleasurable. If it's not, there's something wrong. That was enough to me, and I swore I'd never go back. Good for you. Then we would visit for Sunday dinner. They would have church service in the morning and second service in the evening, and Wednesday night as well. Yep. Can relate. The first time we stayed of the weekend, it was, when are you going to get ready for church? And I said, no, thank you. I'm not of your faith, but I have good service yourselves. She basically took the stance that since I was in her house under her roof, I was basically required to attend with the family. Sometime back and forth, she would not budge. I was getting pressure from my now wife as well with the usual just keep the peace BS. I was then hit with the perfect solution, inspired on high, perhaps. I basically told mother in law that I absolutely agreed with her position and was entirely correct and proper to insist on my being subject to her demands when staying at her home. But because it was also because it was so correct and proper now in the future when she came to visit my home, all of us would attend my church of my faith, which is hyper evangelical Protestant zealot probably made her knickers crawl up her ample derriere. Even the mayor thought, oh, this guy can turn a phrase. She sputtered and deflected, and I said, no, I demand you agree in front of your family and God that you will attend my church when you come to visit us. As we had the only grandkids, she couldn't refuse to ever come over. After some deliberation, she resignedly agreed that I did not have to attend their service or any service for that matter. Years later, I got grudging kudos from the father in law who had been the only that I had been the only sister in law ever to stand up to her. Her own kids would have to hide their booze and weed in the neighbor's house when she came over. Nuts. I can't believe the comments are going that way, but I was a son in law and thought that was obvious. Oh, SIL always means sister in law to me. That's confusing. It always means sister in law to me. That's what threw everybody off, dude. The son in law is easy to spell out, sister in law is longer. Jorge says, do unto others must have been lost in that biblical translation. Oh, no, that's totally like do unto others is I want to do unto you. Merklex Tabletop says, sounds like it might have been worth going, standing up and confessing your sin, confessing your wife liked sex also. I think that guy just couldn't keep up with his wife and he wanted a divorce because she was too much for him. Nobody's baby daddy answered, yeah, something like that. My wife is obsessed with sex, needs it all the time, multiple times a day. Elders, she's a wanton whore. You need to leave her. Wayne, no, that's why I married her. I don't get, I don't get any of it. Honestly, I never did. Coder Joe says, I'm impressed most religious zealots are able to defect logic without blinking. Next is Am I the Jerk? And it's entitled AITJ for telling my girlfriend I won't be her son's godmother because she only asked me so I give expensive gifts. Not me a bad one. Wish it would stop. I think the talking is making me cough more, which might not be a bad thing in the long run. get some of the stuff out. Ugh. My friend Stacy, 32 female, is having a baby in 2 months. We've been friends since high school. Last week she asked if I'd be the godmother. I, 31 female, was honored and said yes. And she sent me a list of godmother duties. I believe that the definition of godmother is just someone that religiously. Someone that religiously guides the child. That's all it is. They are not supposed to give presents or anything like that unless they want to. These people are crazy. Sent me a list of godmother duties, which included buying specific expensive gifts for every birthday and Christmas. She listed exact brands and prices ranging starting at $200. Contributing to his college fund monthly, no, $300 minimum, and being available for financial emergencies. I was confused and asked if this was a joke. She said no, these are standard godmother responsibilities. No, they're not. And since I'm child free and make good money, I can easily afford it. No, that's not. No. I said, that's not what a godmother is. That's an ATM machine. She said, in her family, godparents are expected to financially contribute. And I agreed to the role. Excuse me, so I'm committed. I told her I'm unagreeing then. I'm not signing up to spend thousands of dollars on a kid every year. She got really upset and said I backed out of a sacred promise. Girl, please. I said, you didn't tell me it came with mandatory expensive gift requirements. She said, everybody knows that's what godparents do. No, it's not. And I should have assumed. I've been to other christenings where godparents give normal gifts. This isn't universal. She told her friend group that I abandoned her baby. God, talk about dramatic. And several of them think I should have clarified expectations before backing out. But she never mentioned the money when asking. AITJ, no, you're not. You didn't sign up to be the ATM for the family. This kid will be fine without all the extras. Oh. Auden says being a godparent is about ensuring the child's spiritual journey and nothing to do with spending. She's just looking for the money grab. You didn't abandon the child. I'm sure there are other members in her circle that help her guide her kid through spiritual stuff. Lots of people don't even have godparents. NTJ, exactly. It says in some cultures it's a promise to look after the child. If something happens to the parents, it's not a financial obligation. And LAG says that's a worthless promise unless legal paperwork and put in place for the godparents to be guardians. Yep. You have to write up a will for that. And of course, nothing comes out. All right, next we have entitled people, which probably should have been that last one. Entitled, today I had the most entitled client of my career and I still can't process what happened. Earlier today, I had a new client book me for a mobile massage. I've never worked on this woman, possibly in her early 30s, before, so because of that, I made sure to go through all the expectations well before the massage and ensure that my clients get every bit of what they are paying for. So we did just that. I chatted for about 5 minutes before we got started, and she was really kind. She went into detail about exactly how she wanted and asked for 1.5 hour massage and told me exactly what areas to focus on. She had 0 areas to avoid pain points and had reported no pain, so all was golden as far as I could tell. So we finalized everything and started the massage. As we were going, I made a point every 15 to 30 minutes to check in and ask questions to ensure everything was exactly what she wanted. Every time I asked, she enthusiastically said it was perfect and that she was super relaxed, so we kept going. Now, once her 1.5 hours hit, I decided to take an additional 15 minutes to give her a scalp massage, hot towel, and even hot stones. Again, this is after the massage. This is just something I always add my clients as a thank you. Again, I made all of this very clear that this was free and on me. As we were wrapping up, I'm putting away all my stuff, getting ready to have her get up and change, and she suddenly says, "Wait, was that a deep tissue massage? I wanted a relaxing massage. The pressure was too hard for me." Ma'am, you have been asked several times during this whole ordeal if there was something you want to change, and you said no. Huntley replied, "No, oh no, that's what we agreed on, and I asked you about pressure all along the way, and you said it was perfect. Did I miss something?" Then she sits up and looks at me and says, no, so I definitely am not tipping you at all for something I didn't even want. That is not what I asked for. You were a good massage. If you were a good massage therapist, you'd give me more time and make sure I'm taken care of. This lady just wants a free massage. I tell you how fast I told her to get her ass off my table and pay me and lose my number. Yeah, she's gonna run out of massage therapists. What's gonna happen? Jingle Vani says, unreal. She is nuts. Mm-hmm. Uh, Soul Challenge answers. This is what, like when someone finishes the meal they ordered and then tells the server they didn't like it. So sorry it happened. Tech Fiend says, yep, first thing that came to my mind was this is a scam tactic. Wanted a reduced price to not have to pay tip or was hoping it would be free. Yeah, no. People need to stop giving in to people like that. Girl with the monkey says I would give my cut off my right arm for a damn massage and then just getting a scalp massage too. She did get paid. Apprehensive North says, as I chronically confrontational person, I'm really curious how you took charge of the situation and got paid. I literally cannot even role play it in my head, trying to learn to not get rolled over by without losing my kindness. You just have to say no. You just have to learn to say no with a smile on your face. No, I'm sorry. I can't do that for you. I'm sorry. You're not sorry. Oh, I am sorry. I'm sorry you're here. Uh, Great newbie says, imagine waking up and deciding that you want to scam a masseuse today. I would never scam a masseuse. That would be terrible. No scamming masseuses. So this is expectation versus reality, and it's entitled I Took Up Crocheting. What are we going to find? I think this is what they intended. This cute little bee. Buzzy bee. What they get? Oh my. That is not a buzzy bee. I'm not sure what that is. Well, he's missing an arm or a wing. Is that an arm or a wing? Oh, poor little guy. Someone will love him though. Send him to the island of misfit toys. Someone will definitely love him anyway. It looks like if Coolio was reincarnated as a bee. That's funny. Mystical Turtle says, "Hey, it's really good first attempt. Keep at it. He's adorable. He is adorable, in a misfit toys kind of way. Although, if you want some constructive feedback, I crochet and I have a few. I'm not going through all that." If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All of that is perfectly free. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually about noon Eastern time, Tuesday through Thursday, of course, unless I'm sick or not here for some reason. I think I'm going to take the first week of March off to do some stuff. So just be forewarned. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your enemies. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email entitled submission. If you would like an email to the day's current life, send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com. And the link or it's in the description for you too. So you can just click that link and your email should come right up if your computer is working correctly, which hopefully it is. Oh, this is good. This is our real estate. Become your own slumlord with a low income producing mini trailer park for only $550,000. You too can be a slumlord. There she blows. More fixtures. Actually, that's not the worst trailer park I've ever seen. Oh, you know what? I forgot to go to the actual thingy because there are more pictures. There are actually 23 pictures. Yeah, that's not good. It's also snowing and not snow bad. This is why people sell their property in spring because it looks better in the spring. Everything looks better, fresh and green in the spring. There's your porch couch. That's always fun to have a porch couch. It looks like it's a car seat, to be honest. Where is this? Oh, it is on contingent. 24 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, in 9,000 square feet. Nothing like a frozen pool. Bring your pool. People bring your pools in during the winter, or at least empty them out and turn them upside down. But you'll have your income. All these people got to pay you for this crappy space they're living in. And you can pray you don't get a drug den in there. It is in London, Kentucky. Built in 1991. It's exactly the size of my lot. 2.9. Actually, I think I have a little bit bigger lot. Mine is 2.97 and this is 2.92 acres. Look what I could do with my lot. Strong cash flow opportunity. I believe that Kentucky has a really bad opioid epidemic. Hopefully it's gotten better. It's saying home type single family. I can't believe they're advertising this as 24 bedroom. Crazy. I have an itchy, like really dry right there. I need to do something about that, I think. It's really driving me insane. Yeah, that is insane. I don't know. I mean, it is only a half a million. Deleted says, "Don't. No one aspires to live in a trailer home, but they don't have to be slums." In my single days, I dated a girl whose father owned a few trailer parks. He bought her a trailer too on a separate plot of land, not in the park. 21, had her own place, brand new, double wide, and half an acre, no mortgage. It's actually quite fancy inside, fancier than a lot of homes. Yeah, those are not the ones you're thinking of, sir. You can get, like, my dad has a double wide. um, pre pre-manufactured home. They're not. It's not a trailer. There's a difference. He's talking about a manufactured home. He's not talking about a camp or a trailer that's mobile after it. It's on a foundation, not on wheels. All right, next I have confession. It's entitled "I've been leaving tiny notes inside pipe fittings for 20 years and I can't stop." I've been a plumber in the Kansas City area for 22 years and started as an apprentice in 2002, when I was 19. I'm good at my job, licensed and insured, and built my own company, and employ 4 guys now. Good for you. Good for you. You go get her. I'm a normal person to go to church sometimes. Well, that's not normal. I drink Miller Lite and watch the Chiefs like everyone else. But for 20 years, I've been leaving little notes inside pipes, and the little pieces of paper are rolled up tight and wrapped in electrical tape so they last. I slip them into fittings, behind access panels, inside walls, right before the drywall goes up, like places nobody will find for years or decades or maybe ever. I've done probably 3,500 jobs in 20 years, residential, commercial, remodels, new builds, and I've probably left 4,000 plus notes. Kansas City, Overland Park, Olathe. Lee Summit. Hey, I'm familiar with Lee Summit. My cousin Lee lives in Lee Summit. Independence. I've been to a few of those places. I used to live in Kansas City, Missouri. So, even some jobs in Lawrence and Topeka. There are notes in walls all over the metro. I think a significant percent of the greater Kansas City plumbing infrastructure contains cryptic messages from me. Most will never be found. They'll just exist in walls forever, but maybe someday. The best one I ever left in a house, big new construction, rich family, like really rich. I was doing the rough in for a basement bathroom, and I left a note that said there was no treasure here. Stop looking. And then I left another note 6 feet away that says you're getting warmer. Then another by the sump pump that said cold, very cold. There's no treasure. But if someone ever finds all 3 notes, they're going to be hunting through that basement for years. I think it's about a lot. I think about it a lot, and I hope they find them in the wrong order. I'll probably get another 20 plus years of plumbing in me, so that's another 4,000 notes. By the time I retire, there will be close to 10,000 notes in walls across the Kansas City metro area, my legacy. People remember Arrowhead and the Nelson and the Liberty Memorial, but they will not remember me, but I will be in their walls. I'm in their walls right now. If you're a plumber and you're thinking about starting this, do it. It's the best part of the job. The pay is fine and the work is fine, but hiding a note that says you should not have listened to your mother behind somebody's water heater, I think that's why I get up in the morning. Kansas City, if you ever tear open a wall and find a weird note, just know it was me. Sorry, and also you're welcome. Also check the crawl space. No, actually don't. There's nothing there, or is there? Listen to Siegfried says, when I was doing a demo years ago on an old house, I found a couple of old Matchbox cars hidden in the wall. No idea how they ended up there. I can tell you exactly how they ended up there. Somebody was doing electrical and they took the box out and some little kid slipped his toy in there. That's how they got there. Ask me how I know. So now I'm at CVS or Walmart walking through the toy aisle. I grab a few Matchbox cars and toss it in the glove box of my truck. And sometimes when I'm doing my job, I'd randomly toss one into a wall cavity before I close up a sheet of drywall or a floor before I lay down a sheet of floor wood. Some nights somebody might find it and smile. No other reason to do it. When I remodeled my bathroom, as I pulled out the cast iron tub, I heard a whoosh sound. I'm like, WTF? Plumber left behind a full can of beer pre 1963. I smiled and thought, what a jokester. Okay, status says I used to patch the drywall in my fraternity when someone would blast a hole in it. Always put some note on a beer and patched her up. It was a fun party trick, punching a hole in a wall when you needed an emergency beer. Oh, constructioners. They're so silly. This is interesting AF. France gives unsold supermarket food a second life by helping the needy. And it's just meme, basically. France becomes the first country to force all supermarkets to give unsold food to the needy. Good. Also, if you see somebody who looks like they are struggling and you see them shoplifting at the grocery store, shoplifting food, do you tell anybody? No, no, you do not. You don't know what those people are going through. They're not really hurting anyone. And if your bill goes up, okay, you fed the meanie. So that's interesting. This is from Emma the A-hole, AITA, for telling a woman at the gym to stop filming because I kept ending up in her videos. No, filming at the gym is weird anyway. Why do you want to film that? Go to the gym when there's nobody there if you want to film that badly. You need to do it that badly. Go in the middle of the night when no one's there. Unless it's super short. I-35 male, go to the gym most mornings before work. It's a normal chain gym. Like no one no one of those influencer gyms, but people still record sets sometimes. There are signs about not filming other members without consent, but it's not like it ever never happens. A few weeks ago, this woman, I'll call her Jenna, started setting up a tripod near the cable machines. I told her I didn't care. Like, I'm not trying to please anyone. I just did my workout and stayed out of the way. Then I kept noticing I was showing up in her videos anyway in the background. One day I was doing lateral rises and her phone was pointed straight to through the mirror so you could see a big chunk of the floor behind her. I only noticed because I could literally see myself in the mirror on her screen when I walked past. I'm not saying she was doing it on purpose, but I also don't want to be in some stranger's video at 7 a.m. when I'm half awake and sweaty. First time I said something, I tried to keep it casual. I waited until she was between sets and I said, "Hey, I think I'm in the background on that. Would you mind adjusting a bit?" She sighed and moved it slightly and said she was just recording her form. Record your form at home, man. A week later, it happened again, and this time I said more directly, "I'm not comfortable being in your videos. Can you point it away from the main floor or keep it tighter?" She got annoyed and said, "If I'm not comfortable, I can work out somewhere else because it's a public gym." No, there's a sign that says you cannot have people in your video without their consent, so you cannot film. That's when I got frustrated. I told her it's not public, it's a private business, and I'm not the one filming. She rolled her eyes and walked away. So I went to the front desk and I asked what the actual policy is. They told me filming is allowed, but if someone doesn't want to be in your shot, you're supposed to adjust and staff can step in if it keeps being an issue. I told them I already asked her twice and then went over and spoke to her. After that, she concerned me near the lockers. Concerned me? Confronted me near the lockers, and I was a creep for watching her. Ma'am, he is not watching you. He's watching himself in your freaking video. And then I'm trying to control women at the gym, and she feels targeted and anxious to come in, so don't go in. Now I'm sitting here wondering if I escalated it too far. No, I just don't want to be in somebody's content. But I also know I get it's going to, how staff can look like a bigger move than just letting it go. No, don't let it go. This is how people abuse you. Odd End says, I'm running into him already before today. NTA, she's trying to manipulate you by pulling the anxious and nervous card to make you feel bad so you will not continue to call her out on her inappropriate behavior. Nacho Piggy says, yeah, if she were anxious and nervous about being watched, why the hell is she videoing herself every second of her workouts? I call BS. NTA. New needle worker says, also, why would she confront a person making her anxious and nervous? Right. Second top comment is from Moose Live. It says you are NTA. She is taking videos that include you without consent, then corners you at the lockers to tell you you're making her feel unsafe. Please report this to management and don't engage with her directly in the future. Correspondent says, oh, it's correspondent. Yep, LP needs to cut his narrative off before it starts and disengage her. It says you cannot film people who don't want to be filmed, so stop filming people who don't want to be filmed. It's not that hard. Overheard this from overheard at Walmart. So today I had to run to my local Walmart to pick up a few groceries. While I was there, I overheard an elderly couple trying to find some cleaning products with the help of an employee. I was on the same row and the conversation started, so I could clearly see that the elderly man had Trump 1 hat on, and the employee they were asking if you had gauges and green hair. Elderly woman, excuse me, sir, where can we find the Clorox wipes? We were in the toilet paper row. Employee, they should just be 2 rows that way, and points finger. Elderly man, are you not going to take us to them? Elderly woman, we can find them on our own, thank you. Elderly man angrily to the employee, is this about my hat? Elderly woman angrily to husband, no one gives a wang about your hat, let's go. The woman proceeded to turn the cart around and head toward the correct row while her husband tucked his tail and followed behind her. I saw the man again later and he was staring at bread for a little bit while I was Googling the cakes nearby. He walked back to his wife and told her he couldn't find the kind of bread she likes. She came over at the counter, found it almost immediately, and then turned to her husband and said, where would you be without me? And he shrugged his shoulders and she responded, dead in a ditch, that's where. Weaponized incompetence is what I'm calling this. Economy dirt has a second top comment. So much to unpack here. I'm just going to leave it. The truth hurts. And Uncle Rinkins answered, the hats are a useful warning label. They are, for sure. 7 more. And then I'll start coughing at you. Tear off my chest. Entitled, my fiance tried to get revenge on her childhood bully. And I think it turned lives upside down. I lost all respect for her and I think we are done. Yikes. I'm a grown woman in my 30s who is currently engaged to another grown woman in her 30s. I'm using a throwaway because of how ridiculous this whole situation is. I'm both furious at my fiance and disgusted with her. I doubt our relationship will survive this, and I have already been looking into new living arrangements. My fiance Ella and I have been together for 5 years. We both struggled growing up as queer kids, her more than me. Ella identifies as butch and has since she was a tomboy. Last year, she started going to a therapist, and she found through an anxiety support group on this site. That was the worst decision I've seen someone make. Why? Should never be the worst decision to go to a therapist. I'm sorry. Her therapist did nothing but tell her she was right and everyone was wrong. Well, I think that's what therapists do. Ella brought up being teased in school, and her therapist thought that was the root cause of her anxiety. May have been. Ella started talking about the girl Bev, who she decided was the cause of her mental illness. Bev apparently used to call her a pig for belching in the lunchroom. Well deserved, because people who belch in the lunchroom are pigs. Or anywhere else. That was in middle school. My fiance said she used to use gross out humor to make her male friends, and her male friends encouraged it. I told her it sounded like they were the bullies, but she shut it down. Her middle school years were rough because she was the gross and dirty girl nobody liked. Well, that sounds like a self-fulfilling prophecy to me. Because you can change your behavior. She can't change that she's a butch lesbian, but she can change her behavior. And nobody likes gross and dirty. Nobody does. What she went through was awful, but she decided Bev, a girl she hadn't seen in decades, was the cause just because she was the first to call her out. Ella has ADHD and is a major people pleaser, so I can see how she would act that way to impress her friends without catching on how nasty it was. No, that's not an excuse. No. Everybody knows that's gross. Everybody knows it's gross and unacceptable behavior. For the past few months, she's been telling me that she wants to confront Bev for her part in her trauma. I told her it was ridiculous, but her joke of the therapist agreed with her. Weeks ago, I found out she found Bev on Facebook, now married with a life, and Ella has been stalking her. She calls her workplace to tell them they hired a sociopath. Oh, don't, no. No, it's one thing to, like, data mine somebody, but let's not call their workplace. They've done nothing to you in 20 years. Leave her alone. Called the police to make sure her kids weren't being abused. Wow. Made insane posts on her burner account and left reviews under her job's Google reviews about her. Her victim finally pressed charges because Ella decided to confront her at her job and recorded it. Good. Good for Bev. Guess what? My fiance got arrested and has harassment charges. Since she's been proud about what she's been doing, she posts on Reddit about getting pro revenge, and the younger people encourage this BS. Ella's online behavior became public, and she lost her job because of it since she works with kids. Oh, well, if it isn't the desserts to our justice. She insists on that her behavior is due to her PTSD and that her joke of a therapist suggested she has. No, it's not. She's just a weirdo and always has been, and not a good weirdo either. I can't take this, and I left to live with my family. I never imagined her doing anything like this. She's obsessed with fake pro revenge stories and seems to think she's a hero in this. I did not mean to cough. I took a breath and it just came. I reached out to Beth to apologize, and the woman begged to be left alone. She apologized for calling her gross in sixth grade, and I said she doesn't deserve it. Ella is mad because I told her I probably would have acted the same now at that age when some kid was belching and making fart noises all day. Yep, all of us would. The whole situation is ridiculous, and my fiance acting like a trauma victim. She is ill, all right, with not just the way I believed she was. Nobody is on her side because besides her online enablers, who are literal children probably. I've never been part of something so ridiculous, and think I'm going to cut my losses. Vic Mar says, "Be careful, you could be the next on her revenge list." That's true. They call me Momo. They call me Momo says, she's going to cry to her group of Reddit friends who will tell her that OP is abusive and whatever other adjectives they can use. Yep. Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's going to be a hard one. It's from What Do I Do? And it's an update to my brother accusing me of hooking up with his girlfriend. And conveniently, we have the original. So there's a little meme here. Let me do this. I'll share this little block of text. Okay, I just want to be direct with you. I know about you and no name, Susan, and I've known her for a while. She wouldn't admit to it and lied about multiple times, but somehow you ended up in her place. I wanted to give you the opportunity to be honest about it with mom and dad or not. It's your choice. Either way, I'm creating distance between us. Now 21, I think that's the OP. My 21 male or 31 male brother, who I'm very close to, has been dating a girl for a few months. I neither nor the rest of the family has met her yet. My brother just randomly texted me this out of the blue with no other context. I hope it goes without saying, but I've never met his girlfriend. I've never been to her place. I definitely have not been with her behind his back or anything. I immediately responded, of course, just saying how confused I am. And he says, all good, continue to deny it. I'll honestly respect it. I'm just at a loss for words, literally my best friend in the world. I thought my first thought is talk to her parents, but anything else I can do. Comfortable Studio says he either has mental problems or is using hard drugs or both. I tend to agree with that. No Wanging Zitty says, or cheating with one of her friends and projecting. That could be. Lemon Cake says, he says, bro has a history of alcoholism. I think there's also paranoia, and he's likely moved to other substances. Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Okay. Get rid of these two. So on to the update. There is some weird text I'm not even going to show you because, oh, is there more? Okay. I don't know what this first weird text is about. I have no idea why he's showing this one. I just want to be direct with you. Oh, that's the same one. It says, so he has her. Wait, are you for real? I like the girl you've been talking to. I've never even seen or met her. I'm so confused. I really hope this is some kind of early April Fool's joke or something. I never even hung out with her. I nor or know where she lives. So his brother answered, "You got it. I don't want to go back and forth on it, but I literally saw the text on your phone this past weekend, confirmed everything. Continue to deny. If that's what you choose, I respect it." Dude, what text? What text are you talking about? Here are my texts, which are you're referring to. I'm not sure how any of these could be misinterpreted as being from her. Yeah. Even recently deleted messages can be. Am I recently deleted? Even recently deleted messages can be deleted. Okay, tell me which messages you're referring to. What did you see that would possibly make you think this? What makes you think I've been over to her place? If you want to completely put it into an end to it, there's no speculation. There's no, instead of showing me text that can be deleted, then show me on text the texts as they appear on your phone bill, where those can't be deleted. He says, okay, I'll do that. You're not on Verizon, so I don't know. On Mint. Also, dude, I'm really concerned here. First, concerned that you would actually think I would do something like that, like sneak around with a girl you've been talking to behind your back. I would never even do that, and you know that. I'm concerned about you. Okay, I talked to somebody from it, and email me my text in 3 to 5 days. Then he posts the 35 days. You don't have to be concerned. Well, I am. I'm ready to talk when you are. I'm here for you. I just wanted to let you know, and that was January 7th. And then Friday, that doesn't. Hey man, I just wanted to let you know I'm still here for you and ready to talk when you are. I wish you'd realize that I'd never ever do anything like that, but I'm always here for you. Love you, bro. I'm not mad about what happened. I'm under the water under the bridge. Just text me something. Somebody just texted me something out of the blue. He's accusing me of something I've never done and I'm not would ever do and wouldn't ever. Have you noticed anything like that with him recently? Okay, so this is somebody else he's talking to. Just genuinely concerned. Can I call you later on the phone with my phone company trying to get some records? And they say, yeah, just stepped out from seeing a patient, but let's talk in a few. Free to talk now or later. Call whenever. I'm going to call later, but definitely will call. Then he has a screenshot of the conversation. Hopefully, has everything cleared up soon. I don't know what's going on. I know y'all are the best of friends, so I hope he is willing to speak soon about everything. It shows that he says, OP says, I'm not sure how much you want to be involved here. Let me know if I'm updating too much. My mom talked to him last night and asked him what makes him think I'm doing this. He said he first saw text from her on my phone back in November. Then again on New Year's Eve. I only texted 4 people on New Year's Eve in the family group chat. So somehow he mistook one of these for Susan or completely hallucinated. This is all strange. I think I'm just going to text him and see what he wanted to talk about. Please let me know if you find out anything. Will for sure. Hey, did you get the chance to speak to him? Yeah, he called me yesterday, but it was to talk about New Year's Eve and Susan. He spoke briefly of y'all's situation, but said he didn't want to get into it. So I stay out of it. So I'm going to stay out of it. I don't know what's going on. I respect that if you want to stay out of it. I'm not asking you to take my side or even believe me, but I guess I'm asking you to acknowledge that something's wrong with him and this isn't normal behavior. I talked to someone he's mostly taking his side and said our relationship, mine and his, is probably permanently ruined, and this is proof to me that something is seriously wrong. I think about it, assuming he's in his right state of mind. Is there anything in this world that would ever come eh, between us so much so that he refuses to talk to me or my family? Sorry for texting so much. I really am. I'm just know something seriously is going on. My dad even feels like he did something wrong himself, but I can't do anything about it on my own. How long is this thing? Jeez, oh, pizzas. Okay, again, asking somebody if they talked to him and how concerned he is. Told me he was on a date. I'm sure he's get back to you. My fault. I was with my girl last night. No worries. Blah 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 blah. So he's kind of somebody else, dragging somebody else into it. They say they're not sure what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on with this guy. Maybe somebody else is texting her that has a similar number, but not quite the same. Everybody's involved now, so I'll just wait it out. He's claiming he clearly saw him texting her on his phone. Somebody else says there's no names, so it's really hard to tell what's going on here. They say he's pretty stubborn, but also very reasonable and sound. No, he's just being stubborn. He's just mistaken, and he wasn't want to admit it. I haven't talked to him or hung out with him. Okay, so this may not be much of an update, guys, to be honest. First, I wanted to thank everybody for their replies, blah, blah, blah. It's for everyone who said I may be hooked up with her without realizing it, that's impossible. I've seen pictures of her. He's shown me, and I'm fully confident I'd recognize her in person. Plus, I've been loyal to the same girl since early November and haven't had any other hookups. People are starting to ask for more updates and accusing me of karma farming, so I wanted to make this update post. This update is there isn't one. Joy. His mom reached out to the girl on Facebook. The girl read the message but didn't respond to her. The parents have replaced the locks on the doors, which he had the key to, and changed the alarm code, which he has access to. I've lived in multiple people, as you can see from the text, but they're all either taking a side or taking a fully neutral stance. I didn't see anybody actually taking the brother's side. My sisters are fully neutral, but my mom and dad realize something is wrong. I mean, if he's accusing his brother of doing something that's literally impossible, how could you stay neutral in that scenario? They aren't related by blood. They grew up basically inseparable. He even lived with us through high school. He calls my mom and dad, and refers to my family as his own family. Okay, so this is a kid from another family. I'm also close to his bio family, so they're not brothers. Well, making me feel like your sisters are crazy. Mutual friend 1 was his cousin. Mutual friend 2 was his sister. Mutual friend 3 is his brother. Okay. Um, so nobody. So you're reaching out to his family. Of course, they're going to take his side. Puzzle 101 says, I've gone into what felt like paranoid psychosis. I had convinced myself, even some of my closest loved ones, of things that weren't real and didn't happen because to me they were very real. I would be sure I saw somebody, and then they would tell me that it wasn't them, and I would press them and ask them why they weren't being honest, if they were playing a joke on me. It's really earth-shattering if you find out something so real that was basically hallucinated or imagined by anxiety. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. I don't know about that one. We'll have to wait for another update because that's craziness. Mildly infuriating. And we have pet tax. We have a pet tax. Isn't cute? Oh my goodness, I want him so bad. He's so cute. Such a cute little guy. Checked him for UTI since he pees in the sink. No issue, he just likes peeing in the sink. It's entitled, I spent $100 at the vet's thinking there's something wrong to find out he's just weird. Oh, there's so many pets. Maybe you should teach him to go in the toilet because I hear that can happen. And that would be way better than in the sink because the sink will smell eventually. Next is overreacting. Am I overreacting for telling my dad it's disgusting that he's dating a 19-year-old? No. No, your father should not be dating a teenager. That's gross. For context, my dad is divorced and I live with my mom. My dad is 51 years old and has started dating a 19-year-old. That's a 32-year age gap, and I'm honestly disgusted by this. And I want him to end things with her. It just looks like a massive predatory midlife crisis, and I know it's none of my business. But I still can't accept it, just feels wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong, OP. You are not wrong. We got texts. Can we talk about, oh my God, no, with the no names again. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can go back and get a name. No name. I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. Oh, what's a name a 19-year-old might have? Call her Millie. Can we talk about Millie? I'm really struggling with the fact that she's 19. Well, I knew you'd be like this. She is an adult. She's not. She's a kid. She might be legally adult, but her brain is not finished. We get along great, and I'm happy. You don't let me be happy for once. She's 19 and you're literally 51. I don't even see how a 51-year-old would have anything in common with a 19-year-old. What do they have in common? She's a 19-year-old college student that should be partying and having a good time and not hanging around with an old man. She's 19, you're literally 51, and you don't see how weird it is that your girlfriend is closer to my age than yours. It's embarrassing and honestly super creepy. It's not creepy, we have a connection. She's more mature than most people her age. I'm not going to do anything illegal, so I don't see the problem. The problem is you're dating someone who graduated high school last year. It's predatory. I don't think she can come over if she's I don't think I can come over if she's there. I can't look at you the same way right now. Fine, if you want to judge your own father and push me away over someone I care about, that's on you. You're overreaching and being disrespectful. My dating life is none of your business anyway. I think my own waiting father being a disgusting creep is definitely my business. You're really okay with dating a teenager. I'm tired of the attitude. I have spent my whole life taking care of everyone else, and now that I finally find someone who makes me feel young and happy, You wanna ruin it. It's selfish. It's not selfish. She's t she's looking out for a 19-year-old kid. What do you even talk about, her high school drama? You're being incredibly immature. Millie is actually more supportive of me than my own kid right now. She doesn't judge me, and maybe you could learn something from her. What? How to bamboozle an old man? Why can't you just drop it? Drop it? You're in a complete different stage of life, and it's like you're dating a version of me, and it makes me feel unsafe and weirded out by you. That is a disgusting thing to say. You're just jealous because I'm giving her attention and not catering to your drama. She actually listens to me. She doesn't have all this bitterness that you do. What, the bitterness that you caused by divorcing her mother? She's 19. She hasn't even lived yet. You're supposed to be a parent, not some creepy prowling for girls who doesn't know any better. If you're going to call me a predator in my own house, then stay away. Until you can apologize to Millie and treat her like the lady of this house, don't text me. I'm choosing my happiness this time. You have lost your wanging mind. Have fun being the oldest guy at the frat parties. For context, my dad is divorced and I live with my mom. My dad is 51 and I started dating. Oh, I already told you that. The mod locked the comments because they've gotten out of hand, apparently. Animalistic Needs says you should track down one of his friends and start dating him. He'd probably change his tune real quick. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Not overreacting. Mr. Reload says, Mr. Reloaded says, as a dad of a 22-year-old, this is absolutely disgusting creep material in the end. What do our parents think? 'Cause I'd be freaking out. Vulture's Culture says, you're just jealous. Excuse me? Ruthless Kitty Cat says, jealous of what, Dad? WTF. Age gap that big always screams midlife crisis. Also, the lady of the house, WTF. No, not overreacting. I'm 25 and I wouldn't date someone who's 19. Exactly. The amount of change I and other people know went through in the early 20s. I know much more about myself than I did then. Even now, I realize I wasn't even close to as mature or intelligent as I thought I was back then. I mean, the prefrontal cortex is still developing at that point. Right. Is your dad Leonardo DiCaprio? Uh, punching your face says "N- NOR, she's mature for her age, said every creep since the beginning of time. For sure. We have server life. Haven't had server life in a while. It's entitled Allergic to MSG. It says today I work a table that wasn't mine, flagged me down to ask, hey, does this contain MSG? Yes, ma'am, most of our food contains MSG, and her face soured so quickly and she completely shoved her half-finished food towards me. That's unacceptable. I'm allergic to MSG. You guys need to have signs up if most of your food contains MSG. I want this remade without MSG or take it off my tab. I was so confused because, first of all, why didn't you not tell your waitress that you're allergic to MSG prior to ordering the food? Yes. If you have a food allergy, you need to make that known early on, really early on. And what does that mean? Need to have signs up. Ma'am, if you want this remade, then it would just be steamed without sauce and the mushroom, peas, and broccoli would not be added. What do you mean steamed without sauce? If you read the tab, it says extra vegetables. Why are you taking away the broccoli and mushrooms? Right. When she said that, I smiled even harder. Because soy sauce, mushroom, broccoli, and the peas contains natural MSG. She looked at me dead in the eye and said, the fake MSG, I don't want the fake ones. I just can't. Wait, wait, she learns that almost every restaurant and fast food restaurant uses MSG. Yeah, MSG is pretty common. Widely Sing says, reminds me of a guest I had at an Asian restaurant who tried to say they couldn't eat the rice because of their gluten allergy. Rice does not have gluten. Disco Disaster says, oh God, I was working at an Asian restaurant last year and I cannot tell you how many allergy combinations we had to attempt to accommodate. These guests had several life threatening allergies and were frustrated that most of the menu wasn't an option. It's like they have a death wish. I didn't want to kill anybody, so I always frantically did my best. I think the most stressful one was a guest who was allergic to gluten, soy, chili, garlic, nuts, and was a vegan. I encountered similar people at least once every shift. I was new to that state and I didn't know what was going on, but everyone seemed to have an allergy. The most random one I encountered was a folate allergy. I mean, I guess that's a possibility, but it doesn't sound real. I don't mind serving people with allergies, but it was too stressful for me, especially when the restaurant tries to accommodate because that's when mistakes are made. Yeah. Soy sauce has gluten, so they were probably confusing fried rice with all rice. Maybe. Either that or they've heard of glutinous rice. Have you ever tried to explain to somebody that glutinous rice does not have gluten? Oh my goodness. Also, people pretend to have allergies because they don't like a food, which is wrong. Because that means that real allergies don't get taken as seriously. So don't do that. Next, we have Traumatized Them Back, entitled, I was obviously inspired by this group and finally had a good comeback at the right time. I have an aunt who is insufferable. Since there was a fallout between my mom and her some years ago, we don't actually meet very often. We are mostly no contact, but there are still some important family get togethers where we unfortunately meet. Usually I try to avoid her if possible, as she's judgmental and compares everyone to her daughter, who is married to a millionaire and is obviously extremely well off. I mean, a millionaire ain't all that anymore. This comparing is weird. Everyone feels annoyed and even straight pissed off about it, but most don't retaliate. It's pretty useless to argue with some old hag who has obviously mental health issues. In the end of December, we met at a cousin's wedding. The event was beautiful, held in a winter garden. I don't know if this is the correct term in English. Something similar to a palm house in a botanic garden. Perhaps it's specially built for fancy events. She, of course, complained to everyone who didn't manage to escape fast enough. I happened to be one of those victims. She started with how white and silver themed colors for a wedding was so boring, how her daughter's wedding was way more luxurious, and how the bride's dress was too simple to be considered a wedding dress at all. Then she asked what my opinion was. Honestly, the wedding is gorgeous and the bride looks so elegant. Wondering about is how some people simply have no class and bitch about all others all the time. I've always thought that only people with very low intelligence do that. I mean, how do some people have such poor manners and just speak whatever comes to their mind without any filters? Safe to say she kept to herself the rest of the evening. Not sure it'll last forever, though. Good job, OP. Good job at putting her in her place without like directly confronting her. Wheel artist said, "Good. She sounds insufferable. We call such gardens greenhouses, botanical garden, orangeries, or a hothouse in English. It sounds like it was a beautiful wedding. It does sound beautiful." Batman side note says, "You didn't even raise your voice. You just described her behavior and let her connect the dots. That's the best kind of comeback at a wedding. Polite on the surface, devastating underneath. No wonder she went quiet." It was really good. Okay, we have Best of Redditor updates. It's entitled New Old Update. New Old Update. My 27 female boyfriend, 29 male of 7 years cheated on me. I'm going to disappear from the lies. Is there anything I'm missing? Was originally in relationship advice and previously ballroom. They give a link. I don't think we need it. Original post October 19, 2025. I, 27 female, just found out that my boyfriend, 29 male of 7 years, cheated on me. So they've been dating for a long time. She was only 20 and he was only 22 when they got together. My boyfriend went to Our boyfriend went to our home state to see his family over the weekend. He's been going quite often this year, about once a month, saying it's because his grandparents are old and miss him. I thought nothing of it until this morning. I got a screenshot from a mutual friend of ours of my boyfriend's location on Snapchat. He was at his parents' house, but a girl's Bitmoji was there as well. Well, it wasn't his sister or mom and his parent or and parents, who weirdly also have Snapchat, weren't home either. He didn't tell me he was going to be with anyone else today. I tried to call him, but he did not pick up. I looked on Snapchat and his location was turned off, so she's got her blocked on Snapchat location. A mutual friend says my boyfriend told everyone at home we'd broken up 4 months ago. He said my boyfriend was making him stay quiet about it because he was trying to find the right time to tell me. As far as his parents know, he's moving home once our lease is up. The reason for our mutual friend told me is because he walked in on my boyfriend and the girl hooking up with each other this morning. I texted an old friend who lives in my hometown, and she immediately asked why my boyfriend was on Tinder. We caught up and she sent me proof of his photos in Tinder and his bio. It hurt to see that photos I took of him were used. He even had covered my face in a photo we took together and said, "This could be you." Wow, what a creep. I had no idea his family thought we were broken up and that he was also looking for other people to date. We even went to Italy a month ago, celebrated our 7th-year anniversary. I'm confused and I don't know what to do. I look around and everything in our apartment seems like a lie. The soon-to-be ex texted me now and he is on his flight back. He'll be back in 5 hours. Obviously, he can find his own way to the apartment from the airport. I'm shocked and numb, but my best friend is helping me pack all my clothes. I'm leaving and I'm not leaving a trace of myself behind. Our dog is coming with me. I'll be staying at my best friend's place for now. My soon to be ex and I already have separate bank accounts. Our joint bank account doesn't have much in it right now. I make more than he does, so he can keep it. I can go to the leasing office because it's closed on Sundays, but I sent an email asking for early termination on the lease. We're registered as domestic partners, so I've completed the termination form and will drive it up to the LA County office tomorrow. He's on my health insurance, and I've sent an email to HR to kick him off ASAP. Good for you. We have several large photo albums together, and I'm not sure what to do with those. Keeping them would be too difficult, but I don't want him to have the satisfaction of having our photos. It's clear he uses our memories in a horrible way. Take it with you. Take it with you. You can burn it if you want. Is there anything I'm missing? I can't seem to think of anything, and all my thoughts seem so jumbled. Nothing makes sense, but I know I can't stay. Any help to ghost a person this close to my heart would be appreciated. Got comment from Stinky Eye 63. Take pictures of or video of the apartment before you leave so we can't damage it and claim you did it. That's a good idea. Update October 20th, 2025, the next day. Thank you for everyone with the solid advice. I'm compiling everything I did in the first section. So if others need a way out to cut contact with a person, they can reference this as mentioned in the comments. I logged myself out of our Apple TV and Xbox. I canceled the Wi-Fi that I paid for and returned the modem to the carrier. All in 5 hours? Girl, I hope she was planning on this before the 5 hours. I took my payment information for the utilities off our account. I packed up all my sauces, spices, and cooking oils and took note only to leave dried rosemary behind. He hates that crap. I printed out and framed the screenshot of his Tinder profile and left it on the kitchen table. I closed a piece of dog poop into the frame as well. I kept the photo albums. He can have this. I'll keep the photo albums. He can have this. I took a video of the entire apartment after packing up all my things. I left my keys in the mailbox to the leasing office and emailed the leasing office of my departure with the videos of what the apartment looked like prior to locking up. I updated my address for USPS, vet, hospital, school, work, and my dog's chip. I talked to HR. I'm in the process of getting him off my health insurance, changing the benefactor of my life insurance to my parents, if only I can name my dog. I think you can. You might be able to do that. and emergency contact. I'm going to the bank to take myself off the joint bank account. Unfortunately, I'm not worried about my credit as all of our finances have stayed separate. But I'm grateful for those who told me to freeze my credit. Yeah, because he still has a lot of your information. I logged out of all of the streaming devices, services, social media, and my work, personal, and school email. I blocked him on all social media, chat rooms, and his phone number. I made a doctor's appointment to get STD tested. Smart girl. I'm on my way to an appointment with the county office to terminate our domestic partnership. It's been incredibly busy, 18 hours, but I've had a lot of help from my friends. I haven't been able to sleep either. As far as what happened since he arrived, here's what's up. I already blocked him before he landed. I received many texts and calls from his parents and sisters that I did not see. Then I noticed his sister calling. I picked up. At first, the call was hostile. She accused me of being some crazy ex girlfriend who couldn't let her brother go. Funny, since I just packed up and left. She brought up that it had been 4 months ago and I needed to move on. I told her that the ex never approached me about breaking up and that 1 month ago we celebrated our 7th anniversary and started to plan our wedding. She had no indication I had no indication he even wanted to break up. We reset a bit and she allowed me to tell her side of the story. He told her was something distant this year, but he had blamed it on their grandparents being old and wanting to spend more time with them before they die. Turns out their grandparents have been dead for 2 years. I never met them because my ex claimed they were super racist since the grandpa was a Vietnam vet and I'm Southeast Asian. Turns out you can't be racist when you're dead. We ended the call on a positive note, and his sister saying that that was a lot to take in. Yeah, I imagine. She said she felt bad as the girl he was cheating on was one of her friends. Or cheating on me with was one of her friends. She had introduced them to each other sometime last year when the ex was apparently unhappy with her relationship. They hit it off, and he was supposed to break it off with me. I guess he never had the balls to. Yeah, because you were probably supporting him because you make more money. She was also confused as to why he was on Tinder as he was in a relationship with her friend. I sent her all the Tinder receipts after hanging up. Later in the night, I received an email from the ex. To sum it up, yes, he asked me to come to the apartment to talk about it. No, he did not apologize for anything. He ended the email with "I love you." As far as I know, he doesn't know where I am. I also don't believe he knows where my friend lives, as she moved and he hasn't been here yet. He also doesn't seem like the type of person, but I guess I don't really know him after all. We'll keep the locks ready and bats near the door. It's been so helpful just writing out everything that's happened so far, but all of your advice, support, and guidance in this situation has made me feel empowered to leave. At times, I just wanted to stop packing and hope that when he came home, everything would go back to normal and the text would just be a distant memory. Your words of encouragement have really helped me follow through and leave. Nothing good would have come from staying. Thank you all again. Um, Edit 2, sorry, I was unclear about the timeline. The parents and sister called me 2 hours after he landed. I assume it was because he got home and realized the person paying half his rent will no longer be doing so and reached out to his family. The dog poop may have contributed to the heightened emotions. Some of the comments. Annan Girl says, I took all the spices when I left, not because I could readily use them because Wang, that guy, didn't even leave salt and pepper. Editor's note. This and the following comment were left in the original post, but OOP replied after her update. OOP, I think I took like $300 worth of spices, oil, sauces, and just everything cooking stuff. Thank you for this. Maleficent Leak says, but whatever he really hates, leave that behind. If he's ever expressed a dislike of celery, salt, or Worcestershire salt, that needs to be the only thing left in the cupboard because Wang, that guy. OOP, the dried rosemary was left behind. It's least favorite flavor, subtle and incredible. Thank you. Obvious Fox says logging out doesn't change your passwords. If he happens to know them, he can just log back in and change them himself. Good point. The passwords will be changed ASAP. Rosehill Root says, I bow to the queen of handling crap. Well, honestly, shout out to my dog, crapping at the perfect time to press into the picture frame. He really was there when I needed him most. To a comment calling everything fake happened too quickly. If you don't believe that I said what I said, that's on you. It's a lot of sending emails and doing stuff online besides physically moving everything, which I did with the help of 3 friends, and putting poop in a picture frame. As for not knowing his grandparents, it's not super relevant to the post. While we're not close, but it was because the first 5 years of our relationship, they were no contact. The last two is when they reconciled, probably when his grandparents actually died. While I haven't gotten to know them better since then, two reasons: distance and racism. One, although we were both from the same Midwest hometown, his family still lives there. Mine moved away to SoCal, where we live now. To get there, it's a 7 hours at the airport with the layover plus 2 hour drive to get to their house. Two, if I liked them, the travel wouldn't be a problem, but his family is racist. I'm Southeast Asian, and they're old white folks. Since I've met them, they've repeatedly mispronounced my name, called me slurs as a joke, and sometimes pretend I don't speak English. The last time we had dinner was over a year ago, and the main joke of the night was how I was a CCP agent, honeypotting their son, and I wasn't laughing. That, oh my goodness. I think I would have just broke up with him then, because you don't want to be in a family like that. We have each other's phone numbers for emergency, but I'm not chomping at the beat to be reaching out to chat just because. I wasn't going to mend bridges or whatever because I'm going to not going to change how I look or where my parents are from anytime soon. As for why the sister called, Mr. Cheater Pants was mad the woman he cheated on would no longer be paying half the rent, and I guess his sister took it personally. I really don't care. OOP clarifies the timeline again. We were together for 7 years. The first year and a half, we were good friends that liked each other but didn't act on it. We're bad at communicating feelings. As far as I know, we weren't seeing other people, but who knows? We began to include it in our overall time together because it seemed right at the time. It's stupid to think of it now. Sorry to make you doubt that this was real, and I already addressed your comment about his parents. And yeah, I was able to do that in less than a day. I got three of my friends to move stuff out of a 500 square foot apartment, so it's not like I had much to move. And it's not that I have everything completely finished. I'm still waiting to hear back on HR stuff and bank stuff. But do you guys really think sending out emails and changing passwords and making appointments is that hard? Because it's like 8 of the 13 things that were done online in the middle of the night, and the poop ring took maybe 10 minutes. And I slept maybe an hour on the drive home from the county office. So yeah, I had a lot of time. And if you think it's still fake because I keep replying to people, I'm just answering these questions because I'm trying to distract myself from falling into an emotional pit of despair. To a longer comment, she says, thanks for saying this. Now things are starting to settle in. I can feel a lot of sadness start to creep in. Maybe it's for him, but I don't know. It's partially for the future I had seen for myself for so long now. Now I feel like I don't know what direction forward is, and I feel a little bit lost. Someone has suggested counseling therapy before this adrenaline fully leaves. I'll try to schedule that because I'm sure it'll help. That's good. That's good. I suppose the good thing about not having to plan for a wedding anymore is that I have more money for Lady Gaga tickets. Haha. Thanks for the kind words and warning of what's to come. I appreciate it. Um, there ended up being a nice exchange where OOP and someone accusing her of lying had a nice exchange. So that's good. It's not in here, so I'm not going to read it. New update, November 3rd, 2025, 2 weeks later. Here's the second update for you guys. I tried to make it into another post, but you're only allowed to post twice in the month on a relationship advice. I had no idea. Hi, everyone. The last couple of months have been difficult after the dust settled. I lost my steam and was inconsolable for a while. But that's fine. When you have a devastating breakup like this, it's fine to wallow. It's fine to wallow. You actually, that's when you should be doing it. Take a weekend, wallow, get back on your horse, go to work, do whatever you have to do during the week. If you need a second weekend, that's fine too. I'm fine, but emotionally, this breakup has been very difficult. An update on some of the logistics that I listed in the last update. The lease will be terminated in 15 days. The initial email I sent out was my 30-day notice. I paid a lump sum of 2 months' rent plus prorated rent for 2 weeks. I didn't know how, but I didn't need my ex's signature or anything to accomplish this, which I thought was weird, but did not question. I emailed the termination of the lease to the ex. My payment information is no longer on utilities, but his is. He will be paying for the utilities if he's still there. I was able to get my ex off my health insurance as U.S. health insurance is currently in the open enrollment period. I was lucky. Actually, any change of status, you can also, even in not in an enrollment period, you can change that. Trust me, I had mine canceled in June once. However, if the timing was worse, like if this happened several months ago, I would have had to wait until open enrollment. I don't think that's true. I highly doubt it because things change all the time. I guess I was lucky the information was emailed to the ex as well. Though the form for the termination of domestic partnership has been submitted, it will likely take 5 to 6 months for it to be processed and officially terminated since I didn't have him with me to sign, and that's fine by me. As of now, I'm not positive for any STDs, but I'll check it again in several weeks as advised by my doctor. The joint bank account looks closed. I was not able to take myself off it without the ex being present, but but I was able to close it by myself. I mailed his parents' house a check of everything in there. It was less than 10. After emailing the ex the termination of the lease that he is no longer on dependent on my health insurance, I got a reply from him saying I ruined his life. No apology. Not that it would have changed anything. I know a lot of people wanted more information about his family and him, but I haven't reached out to them or answered when they reached out to me. I just don't have the heart, but my parents did. My dad getting a call from the ex. The ex told him I kicked him out of the apartment, untrue as he still has the keys, and that he won't have access to his meds anymore due to not being on my insurance. Wow, wow, wow. Get your own insurance. He created a sob story about his grandparents' death being hard on him and that I wasn't there to support him at that time. She didn't even know they died, dude. Somehow this was an excuse to being unfaithful. But he wanted to work it out with me. Both parents speak English just fine, but said, sorry, we don't speak English, and hung up. Kudos to his racist parents for inspiring my dad. None of us have heard from him since. I will say I'm extremely lucky. I have a job and financially stable, although paying the termination fees and whatnot was difficult. I know I'll be okay in the long run. I'm also lucky my non romantic relationships have kept me afloat. Through the last couple of weeks, I've been some of the hardest in my life. My best friends, family, and even coworkers have been there to support me. I've also started therapy, which I was also lucky to have access to. I'm so thankful to all of you who shared your advice in the comments, who have reached out to me and make sure I'm doing well. The support I've gained from this community and my own community shows me that I didn't really lose that much in this breakup. Instead, I gained so much. It's been difficult to mourn the future. I thought I would have, but as time has passed, I realized the future wasn't all that great in the first place. I likely won't post again for a while, partially because of the 2 post limit, but also because even in 2 weeks, nothing much has happened. I want to focus on moving on. I hope you're in a similar situation. You have the strength to leave. Next, Alessa says people like her ex are a hoot and not in a good way. He lies about his dead grandparents, cheats for months, cheats on both women, uses his friends to lie, totally mooching off OOP. Your Honor, it was OOP who ruined my life. Yeah, she ruined your life, dude. Adorable Gadget says, sorry, we no speak English. Perfect no notes. Even he says, I hope he said it in a deadpan and a perfect Cali accent, too. Somebody commented on her quips of the tongue. This is Mott Ev says this is a great checklist for anyone that has gone through something similar. Level-headed and thorough. OP is awesome, and I hope she posts some months time about how she's thriving. All right, last we have Made Me Smile, and it's entitled I built and installed a free little pantry. Someone filled it within hours before I had the chance to. Well, that's cool. Well, this is the little pantry they built. And it's already got foods in it. Corn syrup, cornbread, stuffing, turkey stuffing, Kroger brands. We got some Great Value navy beans from Walmart, Mitter rice, green broccoli soup. Well, that's cool. I never even thought of that. That's a good idea. My wife and I have been wanting to build and install a free little pantry in the front of our property, hopefully help Those with food insecurity in the local community. We installed it late at night, intending to come back in the morning to fill it. By the time we came back, someone had already filled it with some thoughtful items. That's cool. Yeah, I think if I'd have seen that, I might have filled it up too. That's all I got today. Sorry for all the coughing. It's horrible, I know. Hey, it got better at the end though. I think it is helpful to talk to get it all out. I actually feel like I can breathe a little better right now. So we'll see how that goes. Everybody have a good weekend. I will be back on Tuesday with more nonsense. Olympics will be over, so we'll have a final medal count. I think Finland's going to take it though, which is fine. It's fine. At least not Russia, right? At least it's not Russia or China. So I prefer Finland. All right. Have a good weekend. I love you, biddies. Take care. Bye. Bye.